YouTubers, Willow here. Today I'm doing another kind of, I suppose you call it a shout out video. This one has inspired me from Mr and Mrs Volfie from our half-acre homestead. Mrs Volfie had been doing some gluten-free recipes, and I had this one in my mind, but she was still having a few problems personally, so I'm still going to do it anyway because it doesn't contain any flour. The only problem that I think that would have any issue would be the baking powder, but there are other ways to make baking powder without using any forms of gluten. Okay guys, I'm all set up, but before I start, Mrs Volfie from our half-acre homestead, I don't know how she says that so fast because I've got to stop and think about it before I say anything. Anyhow, Mrs Volfie, or Mrs V as I call her, she is very much into no GMO, as natural as product as possible, and to try and limit the preservatives, additives, and all the junk that the government put in foods today. And I try to do the same as much as I can that my budget allows. Now these are chickpeas, no added salt, no preservatives, no additives, and somewhere on the can, I can't find it now, but it did say that it was actually GMO free. And this is just a store-bought brand, and I think it was $1.08 for the tin. This is a treat for me. I love honey, and if I'm going to have honey, it's got to be a good quality honey. I don't have the luxury of having a nice little beehive like Mr and Mrs Volfie do, but this is Tasmanian honey. It's from Mole Creek, and it is the best bee honey I think that you can get in Tasmania, unless you had your own and it comes straight from the bee's butt. One disappointing thing that I have found, I only buy, well I used to buy just the home brand peanut butter because unfortunately the craft peanut butter, the recipe has been changed that many times that I don't even know that it's peanut butter anymore. But this one, I love the crunchy peanut butter. This one just has peanut butter, or peanuts rather, sugar and salt and oil. Now they've changed it and they're adding numbers. I see numbers on it when I got it home. I don't like numbers. Numbers mean things that we're not supposed to know about, that they want to add. The more numbers, the more pretend. Well, that's in my book anyway. So, enough of that, let's get started. So what I'm actually cooking for these guys, they're called peanut butter chocolate chip cookie dough bites. That's a mouthful. Now I've only made these once before. I have never actually tried them myself. I made them for a friend and she loved them. So I'm making them again in hope that they will turn out the same and that they will be nice. So here we go. I've got 1 1/4 cups of canned chickpeas, half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter, your oily regular peanut butter, it ain't going to work. It's going to make the biscuits too oily and they'll probably run everywhere. This is the natural one. Some baking powder, 1/4 cup or 80 grams of honey, honey. And 90 grams of chocolate chips. If you have the little buddy chocolate chips, use them. If you have a block of chocolate like I did, just cut it into chunks, whatever size you like. You have to put the chickpeas in a food processor and blend them really well. I may have to do this in 2 batches because I only have my little mini-me mixer and I don't think it's all gonna fit. So I've got a bowl to tip it all out in and mix it all together. I'm just going to do the chickpeas and I'll get back to you. Baking powder. Vanilla. Oh, it smells good. Honey. And the peanut butter. Now mine is quite is crunchy and very thick. So looks like I'm going to have to be going back to making my own peanut butter because I'm not eating numbers. Now mix it all up. Okay, so there's your finished cookie dough, and let me tell you, it smells amazing. I can't believe how yummy it smells. Yum. So, now all you do is, you will need wet hands, because this dough is sticky, and so that you can work the camera, you'll also need something to wipe your hands with. So I've got some tissues behind the camera. Grab yourself a ball, just roll it into circle, ball, give it a little press. Now they won't rise much, but they do tend to sort of spread out a little bit, but not all that much. So, and this is probably about the size of a walnut. Put it on your sheet until they're all done. I'll keep going. Come back when they're finished. So there they are. I still have a little bit of mixture left. I'll make some more when this lot's finished. So I'm going to stick them in an oven. What is it? Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. I'm Celsius, so it's 175 for me. We'll get back to you when they come out of the oven. Okay, so they took, in my oven, they took about 18 minutes. They still feel a bit soft, and I'm going to leave them to cool on the tray before I even attempt to try and get them off. Peanut butter chocolate chip cookie dough bites. They don't spread very much. I thought they spreaded a lot more than what they actually did. So if you want them to actually be cookie size cookies or biscuit size biscuits for Australians, then you kind of need to put them in the shape that you want them, and they won't rise very much, they won't spread very much. Now I'm not sure whether I have actually explained this or not, but I'm actually doing this video for Mr and Mrs Volfie of our half-acre homestead. She is a lovely lady and he is a lovely man, and he is really good to Mrs Volfie as she is to him. They are just such a lovely couple. I love watching her videos and seeing the mischief and everything that her animals get up to, and that Mr Volfie gets himself into and out of. There's always a thumbs up most times on Mrs Volfie's videos from Mr Volfie. His cheeky grin says 1,000 words, and he doesn't have to say anything at all. So if you're not subscribed to them, I suggest you go and have a look at a few of their videos and subscribe to them. So I hope that they work, and also this might be a nice little healthy snack minus the chocolate, but we won't talk about that. For Mr Volfie when he comes home from his hard day at work. And you can't have cookies without milk. So I'm going to do a taste test. They're quite soft. Maybe I didn't cook them long enough, but they are very gooey. Not too bad. They're not. I used dark chocolate and a bittersweet dark chocolate because I don't like a lot of sweet things. So to me they're not very sweet, which is fine, because you don't want to make yourself sick. The other thing that I didn't add that I will put on the recipe is a good pinch of salt. Now there's already salt added to my peanut butter, so I didn't add any salt to the recipe. But if you're making your own peanut butter and you don't add salt to your peanut butter, then add a little bit of salt. But very nice. Thumbs up for Mr V. So from my homestead to Mrs V's homestead, I hope you enjoy them. Thanks for watching. Happy prepping.